Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
I'll go into your van, witchy woman.
I'm Neve from Ireland.
And I'm Emily, living in Chicago.
And we have never met in real life.
Fortunately, you don't need to live on the same continent to make a spooky podcast.
So that's exactly what we did. We created Rowan and Pine, our folklore, mythology, and spooky stuff podcast.
You can find us on your favorite platform, and we already have over 35 episodes ready to binge.
Don't forget the spooky shorts.
Right. We also have a bunch of short episodes if that's what you're into.
Come on, get spooky with us and frick yeah folklore.
All right, I think I hacked in. We're on the air? Shh, security's outside. But how's my hair? It's a radio station. Psst, psst. You guys hear about the Beyond the Shadows podcast with Ryan and Scott? You guys into paranormal? What about true crime? How about UFOs and cryptids? We also have mad hauntings. We got security. No, we don't. We're not big enough to need it yet. No, we got security. Hey, what are you guys doing? Get out of here. Listen to the Beyond the Shadows podcast. Beyond the Shadows.
Welcome to the Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy podcast. I'm Declan, the son.
And I'm Jane, the mom. This is the podcast where we talk about brutal crimes, bizarre occurrences, and get you drunk with cocktails themed around one of our stories. To lighten things up, we'd like to end our time with a chaser. Please keep in mind some of our stories might be upsetting to young or sensitive ears.
We love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to contact us by email or social media. You can find our contact info in the show notes for this episode. If you'd like to support us through Patreon, you can find us there at Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy Podcast, or use the link in our show notes.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy episode. Oh, I'm going to redo that.
Yeah, please do.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us once again for another Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy episode.
Yes, thanks, everybody. Nice to hang out with you.
Yeah, good to hang out with you too, Mom. What story do you have for us today?
I'm going to be telling you about Mr. Big and the first Mr. Big. I'll explain more of that later.
Okay.
What story have you got for us today?
So I have a very bad story. I would just recommend you guys just skip right over my part. Honestly, like I don't even want to say it, but
Oh,
I don't want to have to talk
yours
about
is,
it. But
okay, yours is supposed to be bizarre.
it's about a cult, so it is bizarre. But there's brutal stuff.
But it's
in
also
it too.
gross because cults are just gross.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, it's called the 764 group, and to go with it, I have the cocktail Brick Breaker. I think that's what it's called, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Block Breaker.
Block Breaker.
Block Breaker.
So to make this, I have 1 ounce of vodka, 1 ounce of Midori, 1 ounce of blue curacao, 2 ounces of pineapple juice, 1 ounce of fresh lime juice, splash of soda water. Optional, definitely optional, is edible gold glitter.
I'm not buying edible gold glitter.
No. And a lime wheel and mint sprig for garnish. In a shaker, combine the vodka, Midori, pineapple juice, and lime juice with ice. Shake vigorously until well chilled. Strain into a tall highball glass filled with ice. Slowly pour the blue curacao over the back of a spoon, allowing it to layer on top the green mixture, reminiscent of the various layers and biomes in Minecraft. That's why it's the block breaker, but let's give it a try.
Oh, it's I think
very
it's gonna
pretty.
be terrible.
I would say that
It is. It's green and blue.
Be a good St.
and
Patty's Day drink.
It would be. And I smell the pineapple juice, but then after that, I smell the Midori, and I think it's just going to be really bad.
Yeah, it's not. It tastes like just Midori, like liqueur. Ooh.
It's
needs more lime. I think like 1.5 ounces of lime would be better.
It's
put the sweetness of the Midori and the curacao.
it's not as terrible as I thought it was going to be. Honestly, I don't hate it.
I think you could go heavy on the lime and it wouldn't hurt at all.
It reminds me of a Midori sour,
Yeah.
but not as sweet as a Midori sour.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, I'd finish it.
I thought I was going to hate it.
It's not good. It's not bad. It's just whatever.
I did not waste the alcohol because I will drink it.
Okay, let's talk about this shitty story. So, when you think of video games, what age demographic comes to your mind?
I would say teenagers.
Yeah,
and
that's what I
early
think, too.
20s.
Yeah. So many games are developed for adults, such as M-rated games, but a majority of games are made for a child audience or teenage audience, basically. But many of these games require kids to be a certain age to play the game. In the US, we have something called the Entertainment Software Rating Board, or the ESRB, which evaluates games and determines, based on the content in the game, a recommended minimum age range that should be allowed to play the game. Obviously, your parents can buy whatever game and you could play GTA at six years old. But
it's like the cocktail websites or the liquor websites that you go to and they make you yes.
Yeah.
Who says no? You don't
It's
have to
annoying when you
provide.
accidentally do press no and they like close you out of the website. It's like, fucker, I'm 21. You can't even buy alcohol on this website. Like, give me a break.
Right? It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
So games like Call of Duty and Red Dead Redemption that include violence and mature content are rated as more mature than games like Minecraft or Roblox, which is designed for kids. The rating in the ESRB system is E for everyone, which is suitable for all ages, may contain minimal cartoon or fantasy violence, and infrequent mild language. E10 is everyone 10 and up. Content may be more suitable for ages 10 and up with a bit more cartoon violence or suggestive themes. T for teen is appropriate for ages 13 and up and may include violence, suggestive themes, crude humor, minimal blood, and simulated gambling, which is weird that it is in the teen category. M is 17 and up, suitable for ages 17 and up and may contain intense violence, blood and gore, strong language, and some sexual content. That's games like Call of Duty or GTA.
Okay. Right.
And
makes sense.
AO, which is adults only. I've never even seen a game that is adults only, so I don't know what this means, but for adults 18 and up with content that may include extreme violence, sexual content, or gambling.
I was going to say, is it like video game pornography?
It must be, because I've never seen an AO game before. I don't know. I've only played M games, which is weird.
Yeah, I didn't know there was an extra category.
So if you're a parent and you aren't aware of this rating system, you should be. But keep in mind that the rating system is a lot like the speed limit. A majority of players in the game are going to be following the rules and playing games designed for their age range. However, anyone can join and nothing prevents them from doing so.
Right.
So if you're playing a game rated T for teens, the 50-year-old man can just play that game. Like, nothing's stopping them from that. And they should be able to. It's a video game. You should be able to play whatever you want.
Do whatever. Yes.
Yes. So some games designed for kids like Roblox or Minecraft are often populated with people much older than the designed demographic. This story is designed to be educational for parents of younger children, but I would stop listening at this point.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So,
okay.
Well, I'm not too familiar with Roblox. I am fairly familiar with Minecraft. I grew up playing it. I started playing before there was an online option. It was just basically you
Right.
put blocks down and break them. That was basically it's like a
Okay.
creative game. You build like a house out of cubes basically, or you could build whatever
Yeah.
you want. But so these games have the option to play by yourself or play online in different games or servers. Like there could be a capture the flag server in Minecraft where you play with other people and you play capture the flag basically. But
Okay.
a lot of these games have online chat features. Whether that means like a chat bar, like in the bottom, you can see people messaging back and forth or something in the lobby, or actually like speaking through a microphone to each other.
Gotcha.
While a majority of these kids' games have settings that prevent their younger audience from communicating with strangers online, which I would recommend
should.
everyone does, but those have to be enabled by a parent. It doesn't
Okay.
just happen on default. So
It should be defaulted.
yeah, especially for
My
a kid's
opinion.
game or something.
Yeah, because if a parent's not going to set the game up for the kid most of the
No.
time. They're going to
The
go,
kid
here's your
knows that shit
game.
already. They played
Go
at a
have
friend's
fun.
house and they know exactly what to do. Like,
Right. It should be defaulted that you can't chat with anybody.
yes. And we'll talk about why that should be default.
Okay.
So today we'll be talking about the sinister things that happen in these online lobbies. I just also want to preface right now that I'm not shaming any parents or people who use these games. Like,
No.
this is more of like an educational thing because I think that people should monitor their kids' online activity.
Right. But that's hard to
Yeah.
do sometimes.
It is because I use some of these things that I'll be talking about, and I still don't know how to use them that well. Like I downloaded them
Okay.
for my friend so that we could talk because he's on computer and I'm on Xbox, and that's kind of the only way. But
Okay.
it's a confusing app even for me, and I'm 24. I should be able to figure out apps.
Right.
Yeah, so these online apps can be fairly confusing. So if you're a parent and you're curious, always just do a Google search or some research into how you can safeguard your kid on this app, basically.
Right.
So now let's talk about the 764 group. Here's some of the trigger warnings, and I'm being I don't want you guys to listen to this. I usually don't do trigger warnings, but
no, you don't. And now I'm scared.
Yeah, you could probably leave for this part. I mean,
No, I'm gonna listen.
So trigger warnings are grooming, CSAM or child sexual abuse material, self-harm, animal cruelty, and blackmail. So in Gig Harbor, Washington, parents of 13-year-old Jay Taylor were very proud of their child. Jay loved arts and crafts and was a very talented artist. Jay downloaded Discord, which is like a community and a friend-based app. So this is the app that Dylan and I used to talk, because when you're playing on Xbox, you have the Xbox chat, but that only works for people that on Xbox. So when we're playing games together and he's on computer and we want to be able to talk, we'll go on Discord and you open like a server and you can invite your friends to join and you can type in chats, you can do a voice call, you can kind of like that. So there's different communities and stuff, and people will start a server. And so they downloaded Discord in hopes of finding a community that was as interested in arts and crafts as they were. They were specifically looking for like a crochet group.
Okay.
So Jay had posted in an LGBTQ chat on Discord expressing needs for crochet buddies and help with their crochet projects. When their parents checked their devices, like most parents do, they mostly saw different arts and crafts groups on this app and saw Jay's engagement in it and didn't think much of it. It was just like, hey, this is what I made and this is what I crocheted today. And then everyone's pretty, nice, like, oh, it looks great. And
good feedback and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Crochet is hard.
It's so hard. I tried it for a little bit and gave up on it.
No, I can't do it.
Yeah, it's like trying to braid spaghetti or something. I'm not good at it. So, but in January 2022, Jay's parents were told the unimaginable. Jay had hung themselves on a grocery store
No.
fence, and what they discovered was even worse. Jay had live streamed their suicide to a group called 764.
Oh, okay. I don't like it.
So after news of this broke, a teenager from Australia reached out to Jay's parents and began to explain everything. This teen was targeted by 764 and essentially mind-washed into becoming a participant in the horror show. So the way that 764 operates is they will contact minors through games such as Roblox or Minecraft and gain the trust of these kids. And this is like a side note, but in these games they have like I know with Roblox at least you can like create custom clothing and like in-game items you can wear and stuff, and
Okay.
you can pay Roblox money or something like that and like purchase these items in game, but it's using real world currency. Like if you go to the store,
Oh,
like the wall
okay.
of gift cards they have, there's a
Yeah.
Roblox one there, and you can. So if you have a
Oh,
kid who plays this, you go and buy it for them for Christmas, and then they can spend it on whatever costumes they want in the game and stuff.
gotcha.
But
Okay.
Roblox is making 33% profit on this or something like that, and they have this group 764 made custom Roblox skins that are shirts that are like I love CP, like awful things like that. And
Oh,
Roblox is making money off of people purchasing these items.
gross.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
And there was a
I
huge
hate it.
lawsuit with them because they basically made a statement like, we're going to ban all vigilantes that are trying to stop this group and stuff like that. And like, it's super weird
Oh,
activity on their
gross.
end. But
Gross.
so there's a sort of rule book that you can find for 764 that details the perfect grooming victims for this group. They look for
No.
children with unmonitored access to the internet, looking for acceptance and love from various groups. Then they convince these children to send them nudes, and once the group has the nudes, they will blackmail and extort these children into doing anything they say, with the threat of exposing and sending their nudes to their friends, family, or school. And sadly, this is enough to make most people do horrible things.
Yeah.
The 764 group was started by 15-year-old Bradley Cadenhead. Bradley had dropped out of high school and after that spent almost all of his time constantly on the internet.
A 15-year-old started this bullshit?
Yes.
I didn't expect that. Okay.
Yeah, it's just
Yuck.
so from a young age he became obsessed with gore videos, like murders and people getting their arms caught in machineries, and basically the shit that's on everyone's Instagram page now is what he liked to watch. So
Not everyone's.
I guess just mine.
My algorithm is recipes and cocktails and cats and dogs.
Mine's mostly good. It's like, oh, recipe, a little like cute cat video, and then someone like a murder for hire and caught on security cam.
nope.
I'm like, Jesus.
I don't have any of
Fucking
those.
first thing in the morning. I didn't want to see that.
Nope. I don't have any of those.
So since he was chronically online as a child, he would spend most of his time seeking out this content. While watching gore videos wasn't his only pastime, he also played video games such as Roblox and Minecraft. During a play session, Bradley had met someone in a Minecraft server and they began talking to each other. Bradley mentioned his love for gore videos and the other player showed interest in that as well. So Bradley added this other player on Discord and they began to share gore videos they had saved onto their computer with each other. Slowly over time, Bradley collected more people who were interested in this intense media, and a server was started, which is kind of that people can post videos, they can make, like, they can type out in like a chat, or they could speak in person, or I think you can also do video calling on that app, but I don't really know. Again,
Okay.
I don't know how to use this fucking app other than to talk to my friend. So while the server started slow, eventually it would reach tens of thousands of participants, all sharing gore and horrifying media.
Ugh.
Eventually, some members started sending CSAM material in a different channel. So, like, within a server, you
Gross.
can create channels. So, like, in this channel, we're only going to post, like, our game codes so that we can load into the same game quicker and it's not
Okay.
clogging up the normal chat feed.
Right.
So there was an undefined ranking amongst this group. Whoever
Ooh.
posted the most horrifying and awful content was higher in their hypothetical leaderboard. I don't think it was like an active leaderboard.
Ranking. Okay.
Do you know have you seen the movie Nerve with Dave Franco?
Don't think so.
So basically it's like a movie where there's this game that people play on their phones and they have to film themselves doing crimes and they earn more money and more points. It's like a dystopian future. But
Okay.
that's a lot what it sounds like to me in this.
Okay.
Is like they would so people would I'm getting ahead of myself.
Are they
but
okay? I'm sure you'll tell me.
so basically, this group of nihilist people would find exploitable children, people on the fringe of society, and psychopaths and convince them to do unspeakable acts in vain of false online recognition. So this Discord group would encourage people to commit heinous crimes on live cam or video in hopes of getting notoriety in this group. How would they get people to do these heinous acts? Member of the community would collect nudes from individuals and use this as blackmail, forcing them to do something that they would never consider under normal circumstances, using the grooming guidelines presented in the chat.
Gross.
Users would groom children on either video call, voice call, or Discord messages, and once they had the nudes, they would extort these children and victims. The most common extortion was once they first succeeded in the grooming, they would make their victim carve specific usernames into their skin, like with knives, and
yuck.
They would then make the victim write out specific sayings or phrases in their blood.
No.
One symbol or one
it.
image from this showed the 764 symbol, which was like, I looked it up and I think it's called the Leviathan cross. It's like a weird satanic symbol. I think it's like
And
you
I'll
can
like
look
it.
up Leviathan cross. I think that's what it's called, and you should be able to see it. But one example showed this symbol as well as writing saying, I sold my soul to 764. Blank username is my owner. They blurted out. And then I pledge allegiance to 764, all written in blood on the victim's wall, caused from self-mutilation.
Gross. Oh, this is so
Even
sad.
if the victim didn't send them nudes, so much CSAM material was in the Discord chat that users would be victimized just for being in the group. They would use the fact that they're in this chat that had CSAM and say, well, we're going to tell everyone you like to watch this stuff if you don't do what we tell you to.
This is awful.
Yeah, I warned you. So the extortion, that's just like some of the extortion that happens, but I won't get into full details because I couldn't say it out loud. But
Stomach it.
Watch the Shawn Ryan show number 255 with Ryan Montgomery, and this thing starts about 4 hours in, so like about an hour and a half left in the podcast. So
okay, yeah, his Shawn Ryan stuff is long.
Yeah, and this one is I listened to the whole episode and it's great, but yeah, about 4 hours in is when he starts talking about this group, and he is like, so he's a ethical hacker basically, and so he hacks into these groups and collects evidence and stuff for the government.
Okay,
and he shows some of it to Shawn, and Shawn is like, you can tell, like he can't even speak right because he's so upset. Like,
wow,
it's crazy.
Oh.
They usually involve things such as self-harm, sending CSAM, animal mutilation or murder of their pets.
No.
Violence including throwing bricks at people, burning people, assaulting people, murder, and many other violent acts, all recorded and posted in this server.
Oh my, I hate it.
So one example explained in the podcast involves a pregnant mother who threatened to report the group to European police. Once it was discovered that she wanted to report the group, a quote-unquote hit was placed on this woman, and a man in a bricking chat, which is a chat dedicated to destruction of property, basically. So there was different
Okay.
crimes and different like chat rooms for these crimes, and so there was the CSAM chat, the bricking chat, which is destruction of property. Like, so, anyways, they put a hit in this chat, and
Oh my God.
a man threw a brick through a car window, which was recorded and posted online, and this resulted in the pregnant mother dying due to a cardiac arrest.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And this is
Oh,
happening all over
Declan.
the world. This isn't an America thing. This is in Sweden. It's all over Europe. It's in America. It's
I hate it.
another
hate
example is
it.
a young girl whose parents actually intervened in the abuse. So you can see, well, on the show, they just play the audio of it, but they walk in, like the parents walk into this girl who's being extorted by these people on a voice chat. And they're just bragging about how they have the CSAM of the daughter to the father, and he takes the computer, but later that night she convinces him to give it back because they're threatening to extort her and all this stuff. And so he actually gives her the computer back so she can
Wow.
do the fucking awful shit that, oh man. Just an example of one minor was coerced into filling a bathtub with boiling water, setting up a camera to record all this, and then getting into the scalding water, burning themselves and cutting themselves until the water was completely red. Another example is a man coerced into suicide and live streamed himself doing the irreversible act of dousing himself in gasoline and burning himself to death,
No.
all live streamed on Discord as people humiliated and mocked him
No.
during his final
No.
moments.
Okay. Are you
So back to the girl that contacted Jay's family. She was initially a victim. She gained notoriety through the group and eventually became a victimizer. She became aware of Jay's suicide. She reached out, realizing what she was doing was deeply evil and wrong. When she first joined, she was blackmailed into cutting off her hair and eating it on live stream. Most of these streams involve 2 or 3 victimizers threatening and coercing the victims into doing these obscene acts. In the case of Jay, the Australian girl tracked down and handed over the suicide video to the family, which initially enlightened the FBI to this group. Shout out to the fucking people that have to watch and investigate this awful shit.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Or people that
I would
moderate
want
on
to
like Instagram.
burn my eyes out.
Yeah.
No.
God. So once the video was handed over to the FBI, they discovered Jay was coerced into sending nudes to a user in Germany who is studying to become a doctor, and in turn extorted Jay into the live stream suicide, and even made horrifying comments during the live stream saying like, it would be so much sexier if you took your clothes off.
No. Ugh.
Once the
Declan, it's
FBI
getting worse.
I know.
Stop it.
Once the FBI discovered this, Jay's case turned from suicide to murder. Each and every single field off. Listen to this part. This is each and every single field office in the FBI has investigations involving this group.
Wow.
Every single field office. That's how prevalent this shit is.
Oh, this is just so gross.
In June, police arrested the man under the username White Tiger who had coerced Jay into suicide. He was charged with murder and over 200 counts of sexual abuse against 30 victims throughout various countries.
Wow.
Many of you may be saying, how is this even possible on a public platform that is moderated by a company that owns Discord? So while Discord has a policy against violent content, CSAM, and a majority of the awful things that are posted in this chat, it has yet to remove the server entirely. Usually, it will just ban the user that posted it, but not the whole server that is under violation of their own rules.
Oh.
They offer no explanation or support for people affected. However, Bradley, the creator of 764, was under a very large microscope Bradley started this exploitation of minors and would frequently brag about this and would brag about a lot of stuff despite being severely. Bradley would brag about a lot of stuff despite being severely harassed and bullied in real life. He
Oh
would
my
brag
God.
about, oh, the FBI is coming for me. They're never going to catch me, though.
I hate it.
So whenever anyone would report Bradley's account, he would simply create a new account because you could
Right.
just do that. Once you get banned, you make another one. But
Right.
after he discovered who reported him, he would send his lackeys to groom, intimidate, or attack people who reported these actions. This could simply be fixed if they put device bans. If Discord did device
Yes.
bans instead of just account ban, like, hey,
Yeah.
this account is linked to this specific
Yeah.
computer, ban the whole computer or ban the
Right.
whole internet that they're running on. Or
Yeah.
whatever. But
For sure.
after the FBI determined that Bradley Copenhead was involved, a search began. Every single FBI office in the United States began looking for this guy. FBI had also been trying to determine how much 764 may have actually contributed to high-profile school shootings and other mass casualty attacks in recent years, including 17-year-old Solomon Henderson's deadly assault inside Antioch High School in Nashville, Tennessee.
Ugh.
Bradley and several others had Bradley and several other prominent members were arrested under similar charges: encouraging suicide, possessing a terrorist manual, indecent images of a child, conspiring to provide material to terrorists, murder for hire, child exploitation, and cyber stalking, all just to list some of the charges.
Wow.
Bradley was ultimately served an 80-year prison sentence in Texas after pleading guilty to child pornography-related charges. So just,
Yay.
again, please monitor your child's activities online, but don't completely shut them off the internet. It's a good way to, like, have them pissed. You just need to have, you need to be
Right.
vigilant. And when the Ryan Montgomery guy in the Shawn Ryan show recommended the app Bark, BARK.
Okay.
And this is an app that monitors your kid's phone and flags things like predators, sexual exploitation, self-harm, and bullying. So it alerts
Okay.
the parents and blocks the kid from seeing that type of stuff. And
Okay.
it'll give you
That's
like
good.
messages. So if you're a parent and you want to make sure this never happens to your kid, just there's some options that you have to monitor your kid online. Sorry again for
I hate it. That
horrible
was
episode.
awful.
I just felt the need to make people
That was
aware of
awful. I think that was more brutal than it was bizarre because it was so gnarly.
it. Yeah, it just
That's okay. Mine's more bizarre than it is brutal. So
okay.
there's a little bit of
Combo.
both in each of ours. Are you done with your disgusting, horrible story?
Yeah, I'm shaking from having to say
Thank
that. Like,
God,
it's-
that was terrible.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
not
Well,
happy writing that yesterday.
my story is not gross and you don't have to skip over it. There is a gross part in it, but it's nowhere near as gross as yours. As I mentioned earlier, this is about the first Mr. Big, and you might not know what or who Mr. Big is, so we're going to talk about it. But we're going to talk about David Harrison first. David Harrison was not your average police officer. He is also not Mr. Big. He was just a guy who was a police officer. In the early 1960s, he worked as a constable in Vancouver, Canada for a while, and then joined the Nelson Police Force. He drifted from routine patrols
Mr.
and
Big
jail
a rock band?
assignments.
Is that what you're talking about?
Mr. Big is a rock band that I love, but
How have I never heard of them if you love them?
I love them because they were from the 90s. You probably
Yeah.
have heard a couple of their songs. I know we've talked about it on here because we did the Colorado Bulldog cocktail once upon a time, many, many moons ago. And I found a Colorado story because I wanted to do the cocktail on the show. And
Let
it
me
was
play a Mr. Big song before we continue. 'Cause
you hated the cocktail
with
and
you.
I thought it wasn't terrible. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah. But Mr. Big in this story relates
Okay, I
to a police office, a police investigation style. We'll get into it.
I forgot how good this song is. Okay. That's
It's
sick.
good. They're good. I know. I said they were my first concert that I ever went to. Yeah.
I'm the only one
David
who
Harrison.
is a Jew.
Okay. Let's get back to David Harrison and his jobs, I should say. He had been on patrol. He also worked in the jail on assignments, and then he was involved in a small, tight-knit crew that included Leonard Hogue and Joe Percival, who were fellow officers, and they had some supplemental income. The trio worked outside of their law enforcement duties by doing some
drugs.
odd jobs, not drugs, to make extra money. Funny that you should go to drugs, but no, not drugs. Those odd jobs were not the typical ones you might be thinking of, and not drugs. They used their law enforcement knowledge to get inside information or to work around police procedures. Because the jobs that they were doing weren't legal, and they were definitely frowned upon.
Copper wires from houses? I'm trying to guess what
Nope.
illegal side hustle a cop would do.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
It was lucrative because they kept all the proceeds from it, because you're not exactly going to claim those kind of things on your taxes when you're doing these side supplemental income things. They started by stealing from small businesses like Dairy Queen, and they robbed a sporting goods store.
Sir, they stole all the Oreo mix.
Yeah. The theft from the sporting goods store was a critical one because they managed to steal several firearms, which they used later in other crimes. Because when you're a cop, you don't commit robberies using your own weapons. So, you got to steal some guns so that you got a gun to use when you're stealing from people. The thieving went on for a few years and started escalating in the level of danger as well as the amount of money they managed to steal. They were burglarizing homes, especially those of people who had told the police that they were planning to be out of town and had requested for their home to be patrolled. So back in the 60s, people would call the police and say, I'm going to be gone from this day to that day. Can you keep an eye on my house for me? And then these assholes would take that information and then go rob the house. Yep.
Damn.
Knowing that the owners were going to be gone. They also were robbing banks, and they were making some good coin from robbing banks. They, like 100,000 was one of their takes back in the 60s. But in 1965, the group planned their biggest heist to date and added a fourth man, McCluskey, for this job. They found out that a large amount of canceled currency would be moving through the Canadian Pacific Railway in Vancouver. The group executed a highly professional robbery in broad daylight.
A train robbery?
Yes, but no.
The railroad?
I should stay away from railroad type stuff. I don't know what's going on with me and my tongue these past couple weeks, but I can't say railroad without stumbling on myself. It was kind of a railroad robbery, but not, because they weren't stealing it. They were stealing it from the station, like the railroad station.
Oh, okay. They weren't
Because
stopping
the
a
money
train or
was
jumping on a
sitting
train.
there. They didn't rob a train.
Okay.
They disguised in uniforms, which were, they dressed up as, one was dressed as a railway policeman. Another was a mail carrier. One of them had a railway detective costume on, and one was dressed as a train engineer. The team spent only minutes loading 3 plastic shipping containers and driving away with roughly $1.2 million.
How many of them?
There were 4 of them involved
That's-
in this heist.
At least $250 each.
So that was 1965 Canadian currency, which,
Ooh.
yep,
Canadians
today
more,
would
too.
be $11.5 million in Canada in
Oh, shit.
2025, which
Damn.
converts to about $8 million in 2025 US dollars.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of cash.
Yes. The team knew the money had been withdrawn from circulation, but they didn't know that it had been physically mutilated for security reasons before shipping.
What
The
does that
bills
mean?
had holes punched in them to prevent them from being used. So they were all full of holes.
Huh.
So you take $1 and you take a hole punch to
Why?
it, because they were discontinued. It was discontinued money, and they knew somebody was going to steal it and try and use it, and they did.
But what's the point of just burn it, throw it away?
I don't know. That is an
It seems
excellent
like a waste
question.
of time to ship useless money.
100%. I don't know why they wouldn't just burn it, but that's what they did.
That seems so much easier.
For real.
Just shipping it to somewhere else where it's probably just going to get burned at the destination. That doesn't make any
Probably.
sense.
Right. Build the bonfire where all the money is. I don't know. Not to be discouraged after all their hard work, they decided to tape pieces of other bills to cover the holes. So they just cut up other bills and taped it over the holes in the stolen money.
Jesus.
The patchwork worked for a few weeks until Percival and a friend used the repaired bill at a bar, and the damaged bill was flagged by an observant bartender. Arrests followed swiftly. Percival and his accomplice were nabbed outside the bar within half an hour, and the web of connections began to close in. Hogue heard about the arrests the next day and called McCluskey, who was Percival's brother-in-law. The day after that, Hogue was involved in a car accident in which his vehicle hit a guardrail and landed on its side. He survived what many believed was a failed suicide attempt. Hogue was determined, though, and borrowed a gun from a friend, supposedly. He used the gun in a family annihilation event, killing his 6 children, his wife, and then himself.
Jesus.
That's the official version of Hogue's part of the story, though. However, there are many people who question that version. Several people do not believe that Hogue would have killed his family and then taken his own life. Some believe the car accident was actually set up and that he did not drive into the guardrail purposefully, but that he was forced into the accident. So, because after that accident, he commented to somebody, "I think I got hit," and that forced him into the guardrail. But nobody knows. They also believe the murder-suicide was a setup by someone else just to look that way. The forensics, yeah. A forensics expert was consulted decades after Hogue's death. He evaluated the coroner's report. He believes that there were inconsistencies in the story and the evidence which made him question the validity of the murder-suicide ruling. You might be wondering what some of those inconsistencies were. The shots were fired by a left-handed shooter, but Hogue was right-handed. Whether
did
or
they
not
know
he
that?
was a right-handed person who shot left-handed, nobody really knows.
How
But
did
there
they know
was
that it was fired from a left-hand shooter.
the angle of the entrance wounds on several of the victims and on Hogue himself. He was shot in the left temple, which is really hard to do if you're shooting yourself with the right hand.
That's
And some other stuff. The description of Hogue's skull made the expert believe that blunt force trauma had been involved in Hogue's death, not just a simple gunshot, because it was described as being smashed. And in that expert's opinion, a single gunshot would not smash a skull. Therefore, he believes that blunt force trauma was what killed Hogue, and then he was shot after the fact. But those concerns were never followed up on by any officials, and the ruling stands. They would have to exhume the bodies, and I don't think anybody's doing that this far down the road. But let's get back to the cash. After Hogue's death, most of the money from the big heist was still missing. A $1.2 million heist was too large and bold to be ignored. Detectives suspected inside involvement because how else could a crew execute such a daring daylight job with uniforms, have access to railway yards, and have such a professional level operation? As the investigation unfolded, Harrison's name came into focus. Police believed Harrison had knowledge and access because of his former roles on the force. He had worked in patrol, he'd worked in jails, he had a lot of contacts, and he knew procedures. Harrison's old police check didn't match his lifestyle. There were rumors of his partners, Hogue, Percival, and McCluskey, being implicated, which made Harrison a person of interest. To break the case, investigators decided to try a new technique. It turned into what would become one of the first known cases of the use of Mr. Big technique. Undercover operatives constructed a fictional crime syndicate, carefully building a relationship with Harrison, drawing him in slowly and creating a world that felt real. One key undercover officer used the alias John Clark, posing as a violent underworld boss. Over the time, officers pretended to involve Harrison in small criminal acts, assignments, payments, staged jobs to create loyalty and dependency. It was all fake. They just had him running around doing shit to make him think he was involved in this criminal syndicate of like groups of bad guys, basically. The idea was to entangle him socially, financially, and psychologically in their fake crime organization. For the peak of this covert track, Harrison was taken to a meeting with the fictional Mr. Big himself, who raised questions about past crimes, claiming that the syndicate knew things about him. We know everything you've done, so we want to know how truthful you are, so tell us everything you've done, basically. Mr. Big pressed Harrison to be honest, explaining that loyalty and trust would only go so far without full disclosure of his past activities. In that meeting, which was taped, of course, by undercover police, Harrison made admissions tying him to the big heist and other robberies. The confession became a central piece of the prosecution's case. Along with the confession, prosecutors combined physical evidence, the connections among the conspirators, and timelines from the robberies to build their case. By the time Harrison was arrested, the case against him was airtight. His undercover admissions linked him directly to the railway yard robbery and other bank jobs. Harrison was convicted at trial. He received 15 years for the railway robbery and 12 years for an earlier bank robbery. He declined protective custody in prison despite being a former cop. So they said, well, you used to be a cop and bad things happened to police in jail and they offered him protective custody. And he was like, no, thanks. I'll be good. And he reportedly quickly earned a reputation among the inmates as kind of a badass, I guess. He did not serve the full sentence and was paroled after roughly 5 years. The Mr. Big technique is a controversial one. No surprise there. It's been used in more than 350 cases in Canada and has been adopted in other countries, including Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. Critics argue the inducements, psychological pressure, and reliance on staged criminal scenarios can lead to false or coerced confessions, especially under, the circumstances if someone is a vulnerable suspect.
FBI does that a lot.
But that's the first Mr. Big case.
Interesting.
Yeah. I didn't
know
want to
there's a term
do
for that. I know that happens. There's a lot of cases of the FBI doing that, and it's like a mentally handicapped 16-year-old, and there's everyone else is involved in this
Right.
FBI, and it's like, okay, that's dumb. He never would have done that if you didn't coerce him, basically.
Which is why a lot of critics say it's a bad technique.
Yeah.
Which I, agree with. I didn't want to do the technique as a whole for this episode because we may want to use some of those we might want to talk about some of those other 350 plus cases from around the world.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be good. Yeah. Do you have a chaser for us today?
I do. And despite talking about how bad video games are, I have a video game recommendation.
No.
A new game just came out. It's called Arc Raiders, and it's like so the theme of the game is robots have taken over the world, and they're bad robots, so they kill you. But there's a society underground, and you have to make trips up to the top side to get like resources and stuff, and you play against other players and these robots. So you could it has voice chat, which is like the main feature is proximity chat. So when you're close to someone, you can hear them talking and they can hear you talking. And when you run away, they can't hear you anymore. But you run up to you can find strangers and either decide to kill them or you can talk to them and kind of team up and work together. But they could stab you in the back at the end. It turns out a lot like a movie every time you go out, because there's a whole plot. You're going out, you're going to go find this supply, and you run into these robots that try and kill you, and this other team of humans try and kill you too. But you could also find a friendly group and work with them, and it's pretty fun.
That's cool.
What's your chaser?
My chaser is a watch recommendation for the show Lazarus on Prime. It is a Harlan Coben show, which we have talked about several times in the past. Harlan Coben, the author. A lot of his books have been turned into series, short series, like limited series on Netflix. One of them was on Prime. This new show is not based on a book. It is purely just essentially a screenplay by Harlan Coben. And it's about this guy whose dad dies he takes his own life, and the son goes back and starts having strange paranormal things happen to him as a result of being there. And it's definitely, I was watching the show going, this could not be a book because it would be so confusing as a book. You would not be able to track what was happening. It's definitely something that is a watch, and you have to pay attention because the timeline jumps around a little bit in the story. But it's a great show. Loved it. It was really good.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I'll
And
have to check it out.
it had in his dad's office, his dad was a psychiatrist, and his dad had this chaise lounge that I absolutely fell in love with, and I'm obsessed with it. And I don't think I could ever find the stupid chaise lounge because it's a British made show. But man, if I ever find a chaise lounge like that, I want it.
I think you can put, if you like took a screenshot of it, you could probably post it in like AI or something.
I
Be like,
probably
"What
could, but
band is this?"
I would have to go back and watch the show and pause it just on the chaise lounge. And I don't know that there's ever a picture of just the lounge by itself, but
Oh.
I wanted it. Your dad was like, "What are you even talking about?" I'm like, "Never mind. It's just a really cool couch. I want it."
That's how I
Chair,
feel
whatever.
about the like. I think it's Herman Miller couches or chairs.
I
They're
don't know
like
those.
they have like black cushions and like a little ottoman type thing, and they have like
Oh,
curved hardwood. Like Dave had one, and it was so comfy. Let me see if that's
let me see. I'm getting
Herman-
office chairs.
Herman Miller
Oh,
lounge
okay.
chairs.
I know which one you're talking about. Yep.
They're so cool, but they're like
They
8
are,
grand.
and they're very comfortable.
Oh no, they're like $6,000. Okay.
They're not cheap.
Yeah. I want one so bad though. They're so
Yep.
comfy.
We were at a relative of a friend decades ago, and the relative had a chair like that. I don't know that it was a Herman Miller, but it was
I think there's
almost
probably knockoffs.
identical.
Yeah.
It was so comfortable with the
comfy.
little ottoman. Oh my God,
Yeah.
it was great.
They look so good too. It's like a piece of art.
Yeah.
Almost.
They're very pretty. Not worth $6,000, but
No. Alrighty. Well, I think that wraps up today's episode.
it does. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We appreciate
Sorry
you.
for that. If you stuck through this long, good for you.
Yeah, hopefully
was a
they
bad
just
one.
fast forwarded over.
Yeah,
They use
hopefully they
the
skip to your story.
chapter marks. And if
Yeah,
you didn't
that
know, we have AI generated chapters in Spotify. So if you don't listen to us on Spotify, you can go there and you can listen to us with chapter markings so that you can skip Declan's horrible story.
Or if you're lazy, you can just skip through until you hear our music change.
True. There's that.
That's yeah.
That works too.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Love you, Mom.
Yep. Love you, bud. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, friends. Thank you for supporting our podcast. Please share our show with your brutal and bizarre friends. Give us a boozy follow on your favorite podcast platform. If you're feeling extra generous, we'd appreciate a 5-star rating or review as well. But maybe do that sober so all the letters are in the right place.
You can find all our contact information in the show notes. We love hearing from you, and if you're interested in helping us stock the bar for our future boozy episodes, you can find our Patreon link in the show notes as well.